Now, I know from the titles of these videos, you already know what I'm here to discuss with you. Before we dive right into it, let me quickly say a big thank you to every one of you that really been following me up to now. I want to say a big thank you to my OG and for your support. Actually, it's been amazing. If you just see my favor the first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Joseph, and this is J.O.S. Travel Abroad. I basically share content about how to travel abroad using study route, mostly study route. And sometimes if I have opportunity that probably could help aside study route, I might also decide to bring that on board to share. But I mostly talk about Malta for now because this is, that's most of the information most of my followers want to hear me share, pass across. Basically talk more about Malta, but that doesn't limit me to other places. It doesn't mean I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't mean I don't have one or two experience, even if it's not indirectly about other place. But the thing is, it has to be through study route mostly. Now, pardon me, guys. Really, whatever it is, I just have to, try my best to come and say one or two things. The essence of this video is also why I said you guys should pardon me. Work thing, work thing. I have been officially converted from study route, from the student visa to a full-time work permit holder. Hooray! I'm no longer a student. I don't know if I've mentioned that in anyone maybe my previous videos. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I while I did the live section talking about recent update, but now I think it's high time I just let you guys know. I wasn't going to say it until I know everything is okay, everything has been fully, completed, authorized, complete. So I this is the time I feel I should just let you guys know. I have fully converted from the study route I came to Malta with to a full-time worker. Now, I would this video definitely is not going to be a long one because I intend to do a separate video telling you about the requirement, what you need for if you want to switch from the student visa to the work permit, what you need. I would do a separate video to discuss everything, the regular document you need to present. Of course, this will be coming from experience and also one or two person. I have about two of my other friends who are here who've also been able to switch from their study to work. The beautiful thing is that my own case, I also mentioned the requirement, but I should just give you a brief info about how long it took me. And then still, okay, if you've really been a core fan, maybe you will be like, this guy was supposed to do like a 3 years program. Maybe let's leave that for another day. But eventually, I actually did 1 year program, 1 year diploma instead. So I would share information about how you can also benefit or probably come in with a 1 year program and another, or just learn from this. So I did a 1 year program as well. Officially, we ended the program we ended the program November, and I began to discuss why my case was kind of unique or different or easy was that I started the company that got me my full time work permit now has actually been my company while I was a part time worker. So I joined them few months to when I was ending the program, 2 months to the time around October. I don't know if you guys remember if you watched the video where I talk about while I was jobless for some times in Malta. That was the time I was waiting for the permit for the part time. So because they had to do everything legally. I joined them towards that ending of October and did some few months with them while I finished my program in November. Then the original agreement I have with them was that okay, I was going to remain a student and then continue as a part time with them. But when I noticed so many things, I just felt like okay, I should come up and discuss with them, bring another discussion to the table and see if they will really agree to it. So I was supposed to renew my resident card, and due to one or two things, I think if I've mentioned that while I went to Italy to renew my international passport, I went to do it in Rome, and I mentioned this is it's not for me thing. So I think I was kind of delaying, not like intentionally, the whole process of renewing my permit. If you know how things work, if you've been following my Malta videos, you know that even if you are here for 3, 4, 5 years program, Malta happens to be like a place where, regardless of the numbers of years of whatever agreement or contract you have with your school or job, you renew your temporary residence card on a yearly basis. Then after 5 years, the following year, which is on the sixth year, you're now entitled to apply for the permanent resident card that would be a 5 years lifespan. Although I've seen someone that was given a 5 years straight up, probably because he got married to an EU person, and then when he came here for a study, he was able to just get a 5 years card straight up, so he doesn't even need. That's by the way. So by January, I discussed with my company, my school rather, and I was officially handed over my certificate by
Well,
January. Then my
you want
former
to go
temporary
inside a
resident
bit?
card was
Show
supposed to
some
expire
Sunday.
February 14. So January, I began to gather the documents and all the stuff, and my company reached out to me that what is
Congratulations.
happening is like my renewal is taking longer time, that it's almost
Congratulations.
close to the expiring date of the old card, and I
Let me
know the
see.
policy of the company. So then I was just able to tell them that I think if I'm to renew, I was supposed to apply for post study. I will tell you that also in the next video. How possible it is your conversion from study to work. You can also apply for post study. And also, I noticed one school here also offer internship. For those of you that might want to explore that opportunity, I will do that three thing segment thing in the next video. Okay, but for my own case, I was supposed to also actually apply for the post study, but I then choose to tell them straight that I feel if my card is going to expire any moment, I have barely few weeks to the expiring date. Now, if I'm going to apply for post studies or renew, whether on a study visa, according to the rules of the company, once the card is out of activeness, if once the card is out, is no longer active, it's when my card expired generally, I would not be getting posted, like I will not get shift. I would have to wait until the new one comes. And mostly it usually take 2 months as well to 3 months, depending for you to also get whether you are renewing or applying for the post study. So I was like, I just had to discuss with the HR, I was able to just come out straight to her, like more like indirectly pleading with her that if I'm going to apply now, whether the post studies or renew or as a student, I will still have to be at home now for about 2, 3 months. Then in the end, once I'm done, once that post study is expiring or the new resident is expiring, and I want to convert to become a full time worker with you guys, that I will still have to be at home again, maybe another 3, 4 months. You get so why not just let me go through the whole process once and for all instead of posting here, come back, post here, yeah. So she just like she felt my the emotion. She felt like everything I was saying. She said, "Okay, what do you want?" I immediately just tell her that, "Okay, please, if you have the capacity to apply for full-time work for me, just please go ahead, apply for full-time work permit for me." And she said, "Okay, if you can get me your certificate and this and that, I would do that." Instantly, I rushed to my school, paid them what they asked me to pay to get the certificate and the transcript, and go straight for the health insurance. And I had to tell the health insurance I'm applying for a full-time work now, and I also had to do health screening. So don't worry, I will download the full required document to you. I will download that to give you the whole gist about food requirement on the next video. So that was it. Now, in my own case, because I didn't plan it on time, I worked till 14th of the February, which was the last day of my previous resident card. But while I was gathering the document, waiting to do health insurance, I also connect to the availability of fund with me at the moment. Because if you're applying for your permit, your full-time work permit, the employer will submit the whole document for you. You, as the applicant, will make the payment. All right. You guys remember I mentioned in the in one of my live videos of my live section about the recent update in Malta. Remember I mentioned that the government have actually announced that privilege of getting 2 years straight up instead of applying and getting this yearly card thing. That if your employer can give you an indefinite contract or more than 2 years contract on the work permit, on your work contract agreement, you can actually apply for a 2 years residence permit straight up. You just have to pay. But then I believe it was supposed to come into effect from March. So I have to submit my own now, which is pre the era. I'm submitting my document by February. So then I was not even praying for it to take effect because for the fact that I spent the few funds I have with me, going to Italy and come back, my new passport, health insurance, all those stuffs, I was not actually having much. And then if I'm to go through the new system too, that means because if you are applying under the new rules, the new system for your 2 years, you will be paying €600 for the 2 years permit. But upon the expiration of that 2 years, when you are renewing, you then have to pay 150 each. But for this, the old system, you pay €300 for your work permit, and then even when you're renewing, you still pay your €300 while you're renewing and do your normal health insurance and other stuff. So I wasn't having the fund that would take me to that, would allow me to do that as with the other one of the new. So I just was meditating and praying within me. I don't want the new policy. Let me stick with the 1 year stuff. Now, this is what I learned from the whole process. Okay. Thank God. I quickly will give you the hint to when the permit was submitted. I submitted a day to the time of the expiration of my card. We were able to submit. No, we submitted on the 12th, and we got information on the 13th for me to make payment, and I did, and it confirmed my application. I don't know if you guys know, or probably a lot of you that have been here already, you will be aware, familiar with this. Once you come in with your student visa, your student visa to Malta, and you're applying for a temporary resident card. While you're making your gathering your document, making your preparations to submit for your TRC, as soon as you're able to submit, even if it is a day to the expiring date of your entry visa, once you're able to submit your application, you are good to go. So even if you're waiting for decision pending whatever they have to go through, but your visa has expired afterward, you are still okay. You are not illegal. You have not so violated anything. So while I was doing that and the whole thing was choking up, I just had to quickly beg my company that please, regardless, whatever it is, let us submit before 14th of February. And luckily, she agreed, and my HR submitted 12. So on the 13th, I made payment. I worked with them as a part-time till 14. Officially, they put me on hold. So I became jobless again. I came out of, so I was no longer having posting, like I wasn't having shift roster from officially after 14. I had to stay at home, right? That is the danger of when you're submitting in your document late and stuff like that. Now, it's the other people that submitted before me, two of my friends that did theirs, I think they got the same time frame. It took about a month or a month, 1 week or so for them to get information to submit the approval of their air screening. Maybe I will explain that in the next video, okay? When the approval of the air screening, and once that one was done, then it took about another 1 month or so for them to get the principal approval letter, which will allow you to click on the link to go and get your biometric done. And then once you do your biometric, you're good to go. No, I think it took 1 month, 3 weeks. The first set, 1 month, 3 weeks after you get the principal approval letter and all the stuff. But the beauty about the biometric and work permit, the biometric of work permit is quite different from that of the student. That is what most of us were thinking back then when we were applying for our temporary resident card as a student. We were saying once you get your blue paper, I think the blue paper thing work mostly with that of the work permit. So my guys got that a month, 3 weeks, and after that they were able to book the link to apply. So I was kind of waiting and see whether I'll get earlier date and all that, but in the end, it all was almost the same. 1 month, 3 weeks or so later, I got the information to submit the health screening, and afterward, a month or so after, I got it. So the whole process took me 3 months, and for the whole of that 3 months, I was jobless. Where maybe off camera, yes, I might be trying one or two things, but I was kind of officially jobless for 3 months. And this is the reason why it was so. Now the permit came. It took almost 3 months for the whole process, asking for air screening and all that. But this is what I learned from it and what I'm trying to make you guys understand. If I had noticed that I wanted to do this conversion right on time before that time, probably maybe if I had gotten my new passport ready, or if my passport, there was no need for me to renew my international passport, and I already had that plan right from day one when I was a part-time student with the company, a part-time worker with a company, that I already had it from that I want to convert to full-time with them. All I needed to have done was to have submitted my to have kind of submitted the application 3 months earlier. So this is the lesson, please. Whether you are on a temporary resident card or you're now a full-time worker, I think those that are full-time worker knew it already. So if you are coming in, keep this at the back of your mind. Once you are trying to renew your document, do not try to submit an application few days close to the expiring date of the old one. Always submit an application earlier than that. Do it at most 2 months to the time. In fact, let it always be 3 months to the time. Submit for a renewal, whether you're a student, you want to renew your document, or your full-time worker. So this is what I have learned from the whole process. My company wouldn't have stopped me from working if there was still alive and like this space, like if there, I still have some validity on the old card, because immediately that's just the thing. So they want to have something to defend them giving me roster. So if I were still having that validity of maybe 3 months, they wouldn't have stopped me. So even while we submit an application, that there have been notification that you've submitted an application. Yes, indirectly it was supposed to be like maybe the old one becoming active. No, I just noticed that for the fact that you have an active card and you submitted an application, then you can probably still go ahead, mostly go ahead and continue what you're doing, your work with the old one while you're waiting for the new one. So if I had done that earlier enough, probably I would have submitted this thing around that November and December time. But the agreement I had with my company was not to become a full-time worker with them. But it was a late decision thing. So that was why my own experience. And now that I've learned my lesson, before this my full-time work permit is going to be before it expires, I would always submit application 3 months before the time, renewing it. So even if I'm going to change a company that find a new employment, I would make sure that if I'm switching, I'm getting a new job, I would have at least 3 months validity on the old card while I'm doing change of employer. It's almost the same principle. Now, it is even official. What I'm saying is official. When you receive your principle of approval letter, it is stated there that ensure you submit a renewal application like 90 days to the time of the expiration of this old one, at least 2 months to the time, 60 days to the time. So if you don't do 90 days, do at least 2 months. And they said in case of cancellation, maybe you are changing an employer, ensure you have that same like 60 days to 90 days validity to the old one. It is also stated on the principles of approval letter you will get. All right. So this is just what I want to bring to your notice. I want to say thank you guys for being there for me. We are growing. I'm appreciating it. Now workload. I will continue to see anytime I'm having a free time to just do one or two videos and see how I can actually upload it. Now that I'm a full time, I think I'll be requesting more working hour from my company because I can't do it legally. And but in between that, I'll still try to create time to do one or two content to share information. I'm probably telling guys how things are going. Whenever I experience something new or there's a recent update to share, I'll pass it across. Now, let me stop here. Say a big thank you. In my next videos, I would highlight the requirement and I'll tell you, probably I'll still re-emphasize on the duration, like how long it will take, all that in the next video. Okay. And then maybe in the next video, I would probably would love, maybe I will let you guys know if we should go live next week. Then let's reevaluate or check the the admission requirement. I did this video far back, a year plus now. Let's look at the admission to visa policy in Malta, A to Z, admission to visa stamp. Until then, I want to say big thank you and bye for now.